been a week of Mondays, but the weekend's here. Dust on my boots and a smile with my beard. Neon's humming low, everyone knows our name. Same old bar stools, but it never feels the same. We raise a glass to the miles we've made, to the stories told and the dues we paid. Amber light in a crystal glow, a little burn in a heart that knows. On the Bourbon Road, where the good times roll, passing bottles like a piece of soul. Every pour's a memory, every sip a spark, lighting up the night in the Kentucky dark. Ain't no man, just the ties we've sown on the long winding Bourbon Road.
Hello, listeners and longtime roadies. Welcome back again to another episode of the Bourbon Road. Tonight is kind of a special night. Todd has really set a big one up for us. We're going to have a great time tonight. We've got a lot of very special whiskeys and other things, and a pretty cool guest. Who do we have tonight, Todd?
So, Jim, tonight we've got Scott Page. We haven't had him on in probably 500 episodes, so it took him that long to get back. You know, we had to go through his agent and all kinds of stuff, and we finally signed the contract, and here he is. Scott, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to tonight. The podcast is a different thing for me, but I love anytime I can talk some whiskey and hang out with a couple of great guys. I'm all for it.
Well, I'm certain a lot of our listeners also patronize your channel and know of you and listen to you and watch you. Yeah, we are audio only, but you do the full spectrum. You do it all.
I do. I try to kind of fake my way through most of this stuff as good as I possibly can. And, you know, it's been a really, really fun time and experience. And really for the most part, the best part is honestly still the people. It's what kind of keeps me, I guess, really going and keeping this thing, you know, moving forward and all of that. So that's the best part of it for me, is just meeting a lot of great people. And I've met a lot of great friends, you know, throughout the almost 10 years of kind of doing the YouTube stuff. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was you were on the show. It was
episode 10.
Episode 10. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. And we're on 506? This will be 506 or 507, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. We're going to stop counting. It just doesn't matter anymore. I'm sure you guys put out an awful lot of stuff too, so it's not uncommon for you guys to put out more than one a week. So
yeah, it can be a little daunting at times, but you know, it is what it is. It's still fun. That's the best part of it. There's always something. As much as this whiskey stuff is the same, there's always something that's different. You know, so it keeps you interested and tugging at the everything it possibly can. It's a really fun community.
Well, Todd, why don't you tell us what you have in store for us tonight? What do you have in store for your two victims here?
So tonight, Scott's kind of a cigar guy as well. And, you know, you and I both dabble in every once in a while. So we're going to go through 4 different cigar blends. As you guys well know, there's no real true definition of what a cigar blend is. In fact, we actually had one that we pulled out of tonight's pairing that literally they just called it a cigar blend, but there was nothing, it wasn't finished or anything. It was a Texas whiskey, but come to find out that's no longer being bottled as is. So they've got a new kind of cigar blend. So we kind of dropped that one, but
we're not smoking tonight, but we are going to talk cigars.
Yeah. And I figure, you know, you guys, and you know, we often talk about like what kind of cigar, like when we have just regular pours or something finished, that we often talk about what kind of cigar might go, you know, it's a pour that really shines and we think, oh, that'd be great with a cigar, you know, something really hearty and something to cut through that smoke a little bit. But so let's get to this first pour. What do you think, gents?
Let's do it.
All right. So first up is Will Horse Cigar Blend. The MSRP on this is $45. I think Jim and I have become big fans of theirs, and they're kind enough to send a lot of their samples, which we're definitely loving. So this is 5-year Green River sourced, which is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% barley. It's at their 101 proof. It's port, cognac, sherry, and Armagnac finished for 6 to 8 months, it says.
Wow.
Like I said, that MSRP of $45, I don't know. They're almost giving that stuff away.
Boy. Yeah, that's a pretty good, man. That's a really good price point. I mean, nowadays, boy, you really appreciate when some of them release things like this and with that kind of, price tag on them. We all know there's a lot of expensive ones out there, but man, that's nice when you see all these finishes and still a really kind of a price friendly whiskey.
A lot of times when you hear cigar blend, you think, oh my gosh, what's it going to cost me? Is it going to empty my wallet? But, $45. Wow. Not bad.
Well, definitely not bad. And I think the other thing was with Cigar Blend, early on, the reputation was, Amburana, when people were not like very aware of what that was. And then it became such a dominant type of flavor profile within whiskey that, I think it kind of quickly got to the point where it was just so overshadowing every other finish that was, within that cigar blend that, I don't know. And I don't even know where the first one came from with Amburana that was kind of the quintessential what we thought of and still think a lot of times of cigar blends now. So no idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm loving the nose on it.
I know, berry compote kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Porto is coming through for sure.
The port, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
that kind of that dark fruit jammy kind of feel to it.
Yep.
I think if you kind of get into this thing a little bit more, that there's a little bit of that earthiness, which I'm guessing is probably the you said cognac, not Armagnac, right? I think probably cognac.
It is port, cognac, sherry, and Armagnac. So
both. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting that they're using two kind of similar types of finishes. I'd be interested to know why they went with cognac and Armagnac. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen a cigar blend with both before, but interesting.
It's got a real nutty nose on it, though. I think it's picking a lot up from those European barrels.
That sherry. Yeah.
The Pedro Jimenez, possibly.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a nice nose. I mean, for 101 proof, I mean, it's nice. It got a great spice on it so far.
Cheers.
I have to wait till it hits. Cheers. Yeah. Not a big bite. Kind of you hit it, Scott, with that jammy. That jammy comes across on the palate too.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like to me where it's very much the palate matches the nose.
Agreed.
To me, it has a fair amount of kind of like a rye spice that's there. Oak is nice. Like I think it's a great little 101 proof finished whiskey. I mean, for that price, man, you can't go wrong with that at all.
And this is mild enough where, it doesn't have to go with a Maduro. It could go with something a little bit lighter, Connecticut wrapper or a barber pole even.
That's interesting that you say that because, there's a lot of people who have different approaches to like how they want to smoke cigars, whether they want them to be more similar versus kind of the opposite effect or whatever. I've always been someone who likes a little bit of opposite. So for me, if I get like a cigar that has like with this, maybe even a heavier spice, maybe more like Nicaraguan tobaccos or whatever it may be, that would, for me, just kind of add to the experience of both of them for me. But to Jim's point, if you had like a Connecticut or something where they're a little softer approach, they would both be fantastic.
Yeah, and you could even do like a barber pole wrapper where you get a little bit of both, and the filler could be maybe a Dominican filler. But yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
I would, if I had to pick from my normal rotation, on this, it would be one of two cigars. It would either be the Monte Cristo Nicaraguan. I like the Toro size. I don't know about you, Scott, but
I'm kind of the same way too. Toro is kind of the size depending on like time. Nice Robusto is kind of nice too. I don't generally go outside of really either one of those. I don't like super huge, ring gauges. Maybe if you get into that, 50 is kind of where I, with like a nice Toro, maybe 52, not really above that. I'm not a huge fan of those, but it's.
You're not walking around with a Churchill hanging out, so.
No, I'm not a Churchill guy. I feel like you need to be like you have to look like that belongs in your in your hand. Like I think a Churchill, like very, very few people can probably smoke that and still not look like they're trying too hard, if you know what I mean.
So by ring gauge, is that kind of like ring size almost for your finger? Is that
Correct.
kind of similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll get the obviously the ring gauge and then all the sizes have the different kind of, names and stuff to them. So, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different sizes and techniques and, all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, it's, wrapper, binder, filler. If you've got some quality of all of that, then you've got a good cigar. So here's a question for Jim. So with cigars, what's your, in terms of everyone kind of has a little bit of a price point. To me, when you get above a certain price point, I don't know if there's really the value, from that standpoint, but I'm interested as to like what your kind of threshold for buying to you, what a good cigar would be.
Well, I'll treat myself every now and then, but I typically stay in the $16 range, let's say.
Oh, okay.
Maybe right. 20. But you're a big time guy. I mean, well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, my daily drinker for a cigar, right? And I don't smoke daily, but is a barber pole, a Dominican barber pole from Statiki Cigar Company, a friend of the show. You might know him, Stanton Holder. Great cigar. Beautiful cigar, smokes wonderfully, and you get those for, if you buy a pack of 25, you get them for under $10 a cigar. Not too bad.
Great deal. Yep. Yeah, no, not too bad at all. I've always found that for me, like buying a cigar, when I start getting above, generally speaking, that $15, $17 range. Yeah. To me, I don't know if I notice as much of a quality difference. I would have to know like specifically all of the blends going into a particular cigar for me to get much above that. But, I'd say like really honestly 10 to 16, maybe $17 is kind of where I kind of stay within that range for the most part. So, and if I'm mowing, I'm just have like, honestly, I may have a $2 or $3 like factory smoke or something that's just an easy. I don't care if I finish mowing and doing everything and I burn it out. Who cares?
A sweet tip?
No sweet tips. No sweet tips.
So Scott, before you started your channel, were you a cigar guy before that?
That's it. That's a very interesting question. So if you ask my wife, that was the very first thing that I kind of got into. I kind of went down that rabbit hole first, and I learned as much as I possibly could about that. And again, it's another one of those things where there's a plethora of information, so much stuff, and it's like whiskeys. You're blending different things to create different profiles. And that was the very first thing that kind of led me kind of into the whiskey part of it, was when people started talking about pairing that with whiskey. I kind of did that. Now that was a little bit after the fact. I mean, my dad had a little influence with me on the whiskey side of things. But once I kind of got wind of both of them, I put all of that stuff together and have really enjoyed both for years now. So
yeah. Going back to the nose, I just think that after a few sips, that jammy nose you talked about, Scott, really has amplified quite a bit. But for me on the palate, it's kind of settled in with that nice nutty taste. I love that.
Yep.
So
What do you think about the
berry
finish?
pie kind of thing. Berry pie, like berry jam.
Yeah.
And there's a nice little sizzle for 101 proof on the tongue, I think.
I couldn't agree with you both more. I mean, I think at this price range if they have this like classified, I mean, even on a bottle or whatever as cigar blend for $45, man, that's a really nice little, sipping whiskey. You don't have to think too much, but it's got enough of a backbone to kind of keep your interest peak on this one.
Yeah. All
And
right.
I think we're not having, like we said, we're not having a cigar, but it's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Yeah, my gears are turning. I definitely am thinking about what cigar would go good with this because at $45, I should have a bottle of this around.
Yeah, it's nice. I think to your point, like I think I would like something if we're going like really polar opposites almost. Yeah, I think when you get into Connecticut and something soft, Dominican tobaccos, might really allow both of them to shine a little bit. I mean, could overshadow the cigar a little bit, but overall, I think it'd be a nice little match.
Yeah. All right, Todd, what do you say? Are we doing winner chicken dinner tonight?
Yeah, I think we always rank them. And since we're doing 4, we'll rank them 1 through 4 tonight. So usually that's the way we do things around here, Scott.
Yeah, I like
the way we roll.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so next up is the Barrel Cigar Blend. And as you guys well know, Barrel uses bourbons from Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. They're aged 7.5 to 18 years old. This one clocks in at 111.2 proof. The MSRP is $85. And this one's finished in Madeira, rum, Armagnac, and Hungarian oak. So as we were discussing, I mean, it's kind of like the wild, wild west when it comes to cigar blends.
Interesting. Okay.
This is coming off like that mineral note at first.
Yeah, you nailed it. Definitely.
Yeah, that is very interesting. A little pencil shaving kind of feel to it.
Aha, there you go. I wonder if that Hungarian oak has anything to do with it. We learned a little bit about oak before, and I know that you can talk about French oak and other European oaks, and they're really all the same. It's all the same genus. It's all the same tree. But the Hungarian oak is a different species. Altogether different.
Well, I feel like the oak is really starting to show up a little bit more now, like more of a barrel influence on this one.
Yeah. You got to assume that 18-year bourbon in here is probably the Tennessee, which, let's be honest, that's probably Dickel. And that might be where a little bit of that minerality is coming from, but it's not like the Flintstone-y tang kind of thing.
Well, plus the interesting thing with a lot of the older Dickels, it's one of those things as it ages, it almost ages out a little bit, you don't get it nearly as much. They become a little bit more bourbon like kind of profiles than that normal mineral kind of note that a lot of people are used to.
It's so funny, Scott. You've taken me back here. I'm 9 years old, standing at the pencil sharpener. It's in my classroom.
Well, when you were saying mineral, like I was thinking a little bit of that pencil shavings kind of feel to it. It's not off-putting though. Like I wouldn't want anybody who is like listening to this now to think that we're not enjoying this. I mean, I really do enjoy the nose on this thing so far. So,
yeah, it has an aroma, an oak aroma that's unique in itself and very pleasant. I think it's very pleasant.
And there's some kind of fruit note that's on this, and I'm trying to figure out exactly like what that is. It almost feels like a combo of a dark fruit and citrus combo a little bit. I don't know what that is, but a little earthiness maybe
sip
there.
This one. Maybe.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Let's see what this palate is. Cheers.
Oh, that's got a nice texture.
Yes, it does.
Very like velvety, isn't it?
Velvety and kind of sticky on the palate too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Man, great oak and spice though on the thing.
It's a
Maybe it's
nice
a little
like
bit.
cola, a nice cola note.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. Like I was thinking with the spice and kind of that almost like little hint of mineral and spice, it kind of feels a little Dr. Peppery kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like kind of a spice factor, like that baking spice that's there.
The flavors are much more concentrated than the Wheel Horse. Very, and it's a higher proof, about 10 points higher, right? But this
Yes.
the viscosity and the concentration of the flavors. I think you're right there, Scott. It kind of has this this dark fruit, but there's some kind of freshness. Maybe it's a citrus, maybe it's a I don't know, something else, something less dark, maybe kiwi or
a
who
little
knows?
bright, like kind of a brightness or something that's there. That's what made me think like Dr. Pepper, as kind of like spicy as it is. It's like very like a vibrant kind of soda.
I've shared this with a lot of people. I like this one a lot.
They always do a really good job. Now they've got a lot to choose from, and they really try a lot of different stuff. And but this is really good. This is in line with what I would expect from Barrel, and this is probably a little I don't know, maybe in the top tier of what they do, maybe in the top one half of what they do.
I kind of dig this one. Little more like kind of vanilla custardy kind of on the finish there as well.
There's a lot of vanilla on there.
What's the price point on this? Are we at $100,
About $85.
$85? All right, man, not a bad
Still
bad
not
price
bad.
either.
Yeah.
I think for
Considering
what
the
it
ages
is.
of the bourbon,
Yeah.
they're kind of one of those that seems to have like kind of gotten forgotten a little bit, and that's a shame. They've been coming out with their just plain Armagnac finish that we had on the show with them some time ago was outstanding. It's like a 12-year bourbon finished in Armagnac.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about Barrel. Like, I mean, I've always kind of really enjoyed a lot of their blends, but it always seemed like they just never got the traction that they really deserve for whatever reason. I think early on it was, but I don't know if it was the batches or what was going on. But man, I've always really enjoyed what Barrel and everybody on those teams are able to do. They do a really nice job.
They've always done really good at captivating shelf space, though. I mean, especially at the big boxes. You go and you see how much room they get on the shelf. You're like, how do they do it? How do they do this?
Yeah,
it's probably the price point and the fact that their finishes are in demand. I really like their ice wine finish. That was so good.
Yeah, that was a very interesting one. When you get into kind of a little desserty, that's for sure with that.
This is good.
Man, I like that.
Scott, you said what year did you start your show?
Technically 2017, but that was just a deer in headlights. And a quick little story on that. The funniest part was, and I won't take too long with this, but when I first loaded that first video, I had no idea when I published that thing that anybody would ever even see it. My original idea was to create a video diary as I tasted through whiskeys, was just to kind of have something for me. And then I got like a comment on a video from somebody I had no idea who in the world this was. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I didn't understand any of that. And, early on, it was just kind of, this was just stumble in front of a, cell phone and had no idea, no editing, no nothing. I mean, I knew nothing about what I was doing. And I just wanted to simply chronicle a diary of what I was kind of tasting and try to build on that as a reference. And that was kind of how it all started. And then I realized people were watching it, and it made me want to learn more about things that if, man, someone's going to like watch this, I don't want to sound and look like an idiot that I was at the time, and maybe still am to some people. But it was a fun experience. And I'm glad I've not stopped kind of moving this thing forward. So
yeah, I remember those days. I used to watch you a lot back then, and I remember didn't Jason help you with your first front reel where you had the barrels rolling down at Castle and Key?
He was nice enough to put a little kind of intro thing together for me. And I mean, I still know like very little about me. Fortunately, AI has kind of helped with a lot of those kinds of things nowadays. But yeah, I mean, when it came to that kind of stuff, I mean, that was never anything I had any idea of how to do it. So yeah, he was nice enough to do that thing for me. I think he just did it on some simple like iMovie or whatever it was back then that people used. And he sent it over, and I used that thing for years and years. And so that was fun.
That's awesome.
So how do you think your show's kind of changed since that 2017, or maybe even how you've kind of changed?
You know, the funny part was, I feel like within the whiskey part of it that early on, I started doing some of the live stream things before a lot of people that I remember anyway doing it. Cause it feels like now a lot of the guys that are here now and women or whatever, started, at or around COVID or whatever, maybe somewhere there. But prior to that, there was myself and a couple other guys that would kind of do some of these things. We were just winging it. We had no idea. But anyway, it was just, it was less professional, less fun, less people, all of that. But not any less fun for me. It was just all part of the evolution of where things are now. Now it's just kind of, you still have a lot of fun, and it feels more like you are just kind of hanging out with some buddies, talking to a camera. And so that part of it's changed in terms of relationships is the biggest part of things. So you and see a lot of these same names that are in these chats. And I've fortunately had a chance to meet a lot of people. So that it makes that part of it, much more special for me. So.
Yeah, I was going to say the Whiskey Tube community is really tight. I mean, some may, go on to other things, but I mean, like you said, depending on what show you're watching, you'll see those same names kind of pop up.
You really do. It is one of those things where there are a lot of people who have just been there from the very, very, very early start. I mean, Todd was one of them. Todd was in very, very early, and probably really one of the first guys I was able to kind of meet through the channel part of it. Jim, of course, early on we did the podcast, Jason and I did that. But, being able to meet people was always the thing. Once I realized a little bit of what I was doing and how I was going to try to structure this, the goal was to then start meeting people. And that was the best part. And it still continues to be the best part of it for me.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Well, we are coming up on the break. Any last mentions for this barrel?
I like it.
Did you guys kind of talk about what cigar might go with that one?
Oh, have you ever been to a Corona cigar bar? Have you ever been?
Not specifically. No.
Okay. Well, I know we like to vacation in Florida from time to time, and there's a lot of Corona bars down there, and they're really good. I love them a lot. Anyway, they have got a cigar that I really like, and it's kind of in that same. It's probably a little bit higher in the teens, maybe closer to $18 or $19. But it's the El Septimo Emperor Alexander. It's an excellent cigar. It smokes long. You can literally take it down 4 inches and the ash will still be there. It's just a wonderful smoke. And I think it would go good with this one. I really do. But the reason I mentioned that is because I just love the Corona cigar bars. They're just so much fun. They're so full of fun people. I'm always the oldest one in there. I hate that, but other than that, it's
Yeah. This feels like, to me, like when you start getting into some of the different series of the like Oliva brands and stuff. I mean, I know that's a pretty popular brand. It's not one I smoke all the time, but the one thing I like about it maybe the most is just the consistency. You kind of know, like, it has a lot of the characteristics that I enjoy, and just kind of a really good everyday cigar. And I feel like, pick and choose whatever blend you want, and, Series V or whatever it may be. I mean, there's a lot of them, but that feels like, in terms of like what I'm like picturing in my mind smoking and tasting, like a nice Oliva would be a really nice pairing for me on this one.
fantastic.
Awesome. All right, I think we're ready for that break, and we'll come back. We've got 2 more pours to go through, so stick around.
We will be right back.
Down with an old bar tune. We argue notes, vanilla or smoke, but it's all just part of the bond.
All right, roadies, we finally released our brand new website. We hope you get a chance to check it out at thebourbonroad.com. It is a total rewrite, remake, revamped. We've done it for you. We have all 500 or so episodes on there with all the details, searchable, all the show notes, everything. You can search by it. You want to go find out what we talked about on an episode way back when, you can do it. We've also got our tasting notes, our reviews of over 1,320 whiskeys. They're all on there. Todd and I's our tasting notes, our rating for the whiskey. We even queue up the episode on the tasting notes to where we tasted it on the show. So as you're reading our tasting notes, you can play it and listen to us talk about it. So I think we're the only podcast that does that. That's pretty cool. So another thing we have on there is our blog articles. We've got over 250 blog articles on there. We're putting new ones out all the time. And the all-new Roadie Bar is now on the Bourbon Road website. So if you're a roadie, come on, sign up, get in there. We have a chat room. We've got a place where you can post what's going on in your bourbon world. We have a calendar of all the events that are coming up. We'll be posting in there our drawings. So as we're giving things away, you'll be able to come in there and sign up for the randomizer to get picked. You'll also be able to sign up on lists to come to something that we're sponsoring. Todd's got a great event that we're putting on in the fall, and everybody can come in and sign up for that. And we've also got some coupons from our vendors for sort of percentages off on stuff. So definitely take the time to come to the website, check it out. We do want you to come in and sign up and join in. It's a lot of fun. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You're certainly welcome to donate if you want to, but it's free for all roadies. So come check it out.
All right, listeners, welcome back to the second half of the show. We're with our good buddy Scott Page from My Bourbon Journey. Jim and I and Scott have been tasting some Cigar blend whiskeys tonight. What you think so far, Jim?
I think I'm having a time of my life. If I were on the back patio with an actual cigar in my hand, it would be great. I live too close to the railroad tracks for that to work for a podcast, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Had I known, and I would have been able to throw my light and stuff outside, I probably wouldn't have had too much of a problem getting out back with a few cigars. But to that point, we're talking about individual cigars for each pour. Like we couldn't smoke them fast enough without getting ourselves sick or something. So that would be a little bit of a difficult proposition, from that standpoint. But
all right, so we're up to our third pour, and this is basically where Cigar Blend came from. This is a Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, and this is an older batch. This is batch 79. This was blended by master blender Nancy Fraley. The base is 11 to 18-year-old MGP bourbon from Indiana, and it's finished in Armagnac, sherry, and cognac. And she used to take the time and write these, I guess, like poetry tasting notes and give them names. So this one's called the Sweet One 2. So She compared this one to batch 27, which was called the sweet one. So this was kind of like the second coming of the sweet one. The proof on this is 127, and these retail for about, I think, $199 or so.
Nancy Fairley, what an icon in the business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got her thumbprint on so many things too, and she does such an amazing job with so many things.
And she finally just stepped away from there too.
Yeah. Yeah. She does a really great job. She does a great job of, like, you know, getting her thumbprint on even, you know, brands that are, like, you know, up and coming and all of that, and really help put, you know, some of them on the map and create some fantastic blends. I mean, that it seems to just be kind of her MO of, like, everything she touches just kind of turns to gold almost with things. Man, what a nose.
So we're getting on his nose, guys. It's very decadent smelling.
What was the proof again?
127.
Yeah. So the ethanol is definitely popping on this one just a little bit. So I'm getting that on the nose and these have been in the glass now for about 30 minutes. So in a Glencairn, 30 minutes, room temperature. And yeah, a little bit of ethanol on the nose, but you expect some of that in the high 120s.
Yeah. And that Armagnac to me is just popping. Like I love it. It's probably Armagnac, Cognac are probably two of my favorite finishes on whiskey. Even them being you know, solo finishes or whatever it may be. There's something I love about that earthiness, almost a little bit of that grapiness. I don't know if that's the inner Wisconsin brandy coming out in me with that or what it is, but there's just something about that earthiness, the sweetness, the fruit that you oftentimes will get. And really a lot of times kind of a leather tobacco kind of note. Like Armagnac and Cognac have just a lot going on with just those single finishes. So
those barrels, the Armagnac and the Cognac barrels, are typically the large capacity barrels, right? Yeah,
they're massive. It's just
almost like Christmas cookies.
It's sweet. There's no doubt about it. I feel like having within this cigar blend that it definitely needed, you know, an Armagnac or Cognac, some earthiness, something that's a little more aggressive to balance out that sweetness, because it feels like the sherry that's on it. It does feel like it's sweet, like it is really showing up from a sweet standpoint.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, well, you know, Todd, that's held up really well. You've taken good care of that bottle.
Oh man.
That's really good.
Man, that spice fruit and a little bit of that earthiness that's there. Fantastic. I mean, it's probably one of the best cigar blends that are out there, probably always will be. At least this. I mean, this is probably different. We have older whiskeys in here too than some of the more recent batches. So
yeah, I was gonna say they're up to what, maybe 500 or something now. I mean, these are pretty small releases to begin with, but I feel like the bottles you'll find out there in the stores now should be like 400, 500, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's actually been quite some time. I remember being at a bottle share maybe a couple years ago. I think it was what was the event that's by you, Todd? Bourbon on the Banks?
Bourbon on the Banks, yeah.
Yeah. It was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was there and I brought batch 10 with me, and people had no idea. They're like, what is this? What is this batch number? Like, why is it so low? And I'm like, man, guys, I've had this thing at my house just sitting around here for years and years. And I knew a lot of people weren't going to have an opportunity to try some of those early batches. But yeah, needless to say, I didn't come home with that bottle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And you didn't expect to either, did you?
No, I did not expect it. No. More spice?
No, a little orange icing, like a little.
Oh, orange icing. Yeah, I can see it. I can see a little bit of the that orangesicle kind of feel. I love the spice on it though. Spice is great.
Yeah. Nice nutmeg finish. Clove.
So would you grab a Nicaraguan filler for this one?
Man, I was just kind of thinking about the same thing. I would have no problem putting a big, heavy, full-bodied cigar up with this one. This would be a really good one. I don't think either one would blow the other away. I think it would be a really, really nice combo. I do feel like it would maybe make the cigar slightly more spicy. I do feel that though.
Yeah. I think you could pretty much you could have your pick in the humidor of anything you want with this. It'd be fine.
Yeah. I feel like you'd have to go like at least kind of a medium strength, maybe. I mean, maybe full body. Full body can be difficult, sometimes, but at least a medium strength, medium body plus. I think you would have to have with a cigar like this, especially with that proof. So
might overpower a Cubano, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely wouldn't want anything with a lighter wrapper. Man, no. I don't think Cuban. I don't think Dominican. Like none of that stuff. I think it would just get destroyed. To be honest.
Yeah. Wow. That is a treat. That's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd,
for bottle right there. Yeah. That's a good bottle right there. I'm just curious. Do you know about the fill level on this, on your bottle?
It's probably like 2/3. It's one of those I don't bring out too often.
Okay.
I've got other stuff, and I don't smoke cigars very often. And while I have my weird way of choosing the pours I choose, which I'm writing a blog about.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I do kind of like, I've got a list of all the bottles I've opened and they're new. And it's like an Excel spreadsheet and it's got all the information from each one. And like if it's a single barrel, it says chosen by you guys and things like that. And so I just do kind of a random number generator to, choose 4 or 5 pours when I'm going to have, that kind of like usually on a Friday, Saturday kind of thing.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool way to do it. Then you're not sitting there like trying to think about a million different things.
Right. There's no thinking. You just do.
Yes, exactly. I like that.
Pull the number.
Yeah. Sometimes when you say, "Oh, there's that bottle on my shelf," it's been a minute. Well, it's been a little bit more than a minute. Sometimes it's been like 4 years since you visited.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
There are some that I go to once in a while that literally have dust on them that I've not picked it up. I've not touched it. I'm afraid to pull the cork out. Like it's going to shatter because it's probably all dried out or whatever. But there's literally some ones that I go to on occasion that have dust and stuff on them.
Now, when friends come over, it's a totally different ball game. It's kind of like, hey, this is what I've got open. Do you see anything you want to try? So,
Yeah.
And then, when you have your guys meet up in Bardstown, that I usually bring kind of some special stuff for that. So,
yeah. That's always been, I think, one of the fun things for me is I've kind of really enjoy watching other people enjoy whatever it may be and their reaction to things more so than me just trying it or whatever. I mean, there's, a lot of times, if it's open, at least at my place, you can have it. And if it's not open, I probably wouldn't even have a problem opening it unless I've got one that's already open somewhere else. But yeah, it is definitely meant to be shared. That's for sure. So.
All right, Todd, shall we move on?
all right, this is a big boy.
This is going to be interesting.
So this is Copper and Cask, again, from Latitude Spirits. They're also the folks behind Wheel Horse. And this is their small batch series, number 15, their cigar blend. So they've done 15 iterations of the cigar blend. And it's a 21-year blended Canadian whiskey that was originally distilled and matured in Alberta, Canada. And it was composed of 17 barrels.
You can't see it.
Then transferred to Armagnac and tawny port finishing cask. And they finished for about 6 months and then blended and bottled at cask strength. And here's the kicker. This is 157.8 proof. I think this becomes the king of the proofs on the show, I believe, Jim.
Man, Jim, I don't know if I'd want to have a cigar with this one. I feel like my mouth might catch on fire. Literally, like I think you might. We'll be like Puff the Magic Dragon if we had this thing too close to.
I was going to look up the highest proof on the website, but honestly,
I think this is the new king. So this retailed for about $80, and it says it's sold out on their website, which is kind of a shame. But I tried this one because it sounded so interesting. So
yeah. Well,
I'm excited to kind of see what you guys think. I mean, it's a mouth puncher, but it's got some really cool stuff going on, I think.
I think I went in a little too aggressively with the nose, like right away. So Jim, before you smell that thing, just kind of slow play yourself with that thing before you blow yourself away with this thing.
Yeah, I did. I kind of
nose.
exhaled into the glass just a little bit before I took a nose. Wow. Yeah, this is
that is interesting. That is interesting. What was the finish again? What is the finish?
Tawny Port and Armagnac.
Boy, it's not very dark for it being like in port. I'm guessing that what was it short? Like I think you said 6 months or so.
6 months. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And it didn't say whether they were Ruby Port or Tawny Port barrels. It's Tawny.
It was Tawny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh man, there is something that's very, very aggressive on the nose, and I don't know what that is.
It's called 157.8.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that is exactly right. Maybe it's like in my head. This is like what gasoline smells like, and I've never smelled a lot of gasoline, but especially this close anyway.
Yeah. This is fire.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of like cotton candy though. There's like a little bit of like strawberry.
Yeah, I can get the kind of the sugary candy kind of note there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the nose is not like overwhelmingly with or saturating my senses with flavors. I'm not able to pick out a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting blocked by this big offensive 160 proof offensive lineman.
Linebacker.
And this is where for me, like I've always struggled with. I know people go crazy for hazmat and all of that kind of stuff, but it's really never been my thing. And the reason because of that is I think a little bit of this effect is that when you have to focus so much on the ethanol side of it, it takes away a little bit of the experience for me, and it always kind of has been. So, I know getting past that and tasting it, that some of that can be amazing. But I've had so many like hazmat ones before that have just been so ethanol driven that I just can't focus on much else. Yeah, too hot. All
right, but I think once you guys taste it, I hope you like it. So,
all right,
cheers.
And you said this is Canadian. This is Canadian whiskey, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh my.
Oh man, you know what it tastes like? Spicy. I mean, oh my God, it tastes like super. It tastes like super spicy apple juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God.
See, I've got one for you. Crazy. I get like this pecan pie kind of vibe, like pralines and cream almost.
Oh man, this is way beyond me. Like I'm like I got to like my sensories are firing on all things. It's as confused as possible. But the very first thing I thought was maybe that's what I was smelling too. Is this apple juice, apple pie, something like that.
Yeah, but there's this ripe cheese rind kind of note to it. And I don't know if you're getting that or not.
Funky.
Yeah, it's funky.
Yeah. That's a good way. Yeah, I wasn't. Man, you think a guy from the cheese state would be able to throw out some cheese analogies here, but yeah, this is some funky, dirty ass feet stuff right here. Is kind of what this is. This is like cheese stuffed between your toes or something. This is, if you want an experience, these are the kinds of things that make tasting these whiskeys enjoyable, is like where this is going to take so many people, you know? Oh man.
But it's not making me think I don't want to drink this. It's like, it's just saying, here's something that's totally out of left field. You've never tasted this before. Yeah. Where did this come from? I don't think I've ever got that note in a whiskey before.
No, that's very, very interesting.
Does that get a little like cocoa powder on the finish, little raisin?
Oh my God. You're getting so many things that I have zero idea like what that is. Like, this is like very one or two kind of things for me, but
yeah.
All right.
I mean, so it lets your palate know it's there, but
yeah,
you got to get through the heat.
I'm going to pair this with a big fat Guy Fieri knuckle sandwich cigar.
I don't even know where I'd go with this. I have no idea. Like, I feel like it would definitely have to be a much cooler evening for me to enjoy whatever this pairing ultimately ended up being. It would have to almost be like a really nice fall evening or something. And oh my Lord. It is interesting. I will say this about it. The more it kind of sits on the palate, I mean, it is a lot of flavor. You know, it is a whiskey that you can have a small sip of, and it does. I mean, the finish part of it is as long as you're going to get on a whiskey. I'll say that. I mean, that is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I'll be tasting this tomorrow morning when I wake up.
Yeah. I think so. You'll have to be brushing your teeth, not because you had a cigar, but because you had 157 proof cigar blend Canadian whiskey.
Well, I just thought it was so out of the blue and different that it just kind of shocked me. And I'm like you, Scott. My first thought was, if you got an open flame near this, wouldn't it be a bad idea?
Yeah. If you wave your torchlighter over top of this thing, you might blow up. You might explode.
Because you guys have done some Found North picks, and that's Canadian whiskey. And I mean, there's some great whiskey coming from Canada. That's for sure.
There really are. Yeah, that is one of the things with Canadian whiskey. I think it is still a little bit, and it has everything to do with whomever it is that's doing the blends or whatever, because that is, I mean, such an important thing with Canadian whiskeys. But if a few of them, Found North specifically, man, they do an amazing job of creating fantastic whiskeys for people to enjoy. So. Man, well, thanks for including this one. It is interesting. That is for sure. It's very tropical or something. That's what it is.
Tropical? Okay, that's awesome.
Kind of. Yeah.
So what are some other cigar blends you guys can think of that have, or maybe ones folks should kind of keep an eye out for? Can you think of a few?
That's a good.
The first ones that came to my mind were, what's Jason Bronner's brand?
Buzzard's Roost?
Buzzard's Roost.
Oh, yeah.
If you recall, we had his cigar blend bourbon, and it was fantastic. And then he always puts out a cigar blend rye that's always really solid. And those are just those are unfinished, if I'm not mistaken. Those are just, I mean, he does some barrel stay finishing type things on those.
We had Brothers of the Leaf on.
Brothers of the Leaf, yeah.
Oh,
Brotherhood of the Leaf, yeah.
Brotherhood.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah.
Old Elk had a really good.
The old Elk one for me is a little bit different because I believe of the mash bill that they utilize with it. I've never been a huge fan of that. A lot of the Old Elk stuff just because of that, but again, to each their own, enjoy whatever it is you like. But, man, like new cigar blends, I don't know if I've had like a new one recently that I can think of. Man, that's a good one. Or at least one that doesn't have to be around. I will say this, the one from Michigan. Oh my God, what is it? The
Traverse City, maybe?
No, not Traverse City. The one that They do all the beer stuff. They do all the
New Holland.
New Holland.
Yeah, Dragon's Milk.
What is it? Wild. What is that release that they do? They did a cigar blend. It did have Amburana, but like very, very little. Walleye Run. That one wasn't too bad. It had like 1% Amburana in it. And it wasn't. And
that's
really,
a rye, correct?
It was correct. And I thought it was really good. I judge a lot of whiskeys based off of texture as well. So it's always a big thing for me, but, I remember that being a pretty solid one. I don't think it's a big run of bottles, but I remember that one being, pretty solid as far as the newer ones.
Now I will say something when you go to a cigar shop, and I don't know how often you guys get out to cigar shops. When you go out to cigar shops, you typically don't have a huge selection of whiskeys to choose from because they just don't, the distributors just don't pay attention to them. They're just not big enough buyers of to be able to get the big bottles, right? So I found a couple of whiskeys that I like to have when I'm at a cigar bar and I've got a limited selection. And so the two that I go to, one is the Green River Full Proof, and the other one is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Okay. And those two seem to work well across the board with most of what I smoke when I don't have a big selection of bourbons to choose from. So
interesting. Yeah, I would say one of my like go-tos quite often is the newer Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. It's always been one for me that with the oak presence that it has in it. I know it's only 100 proof, but I've always felt it's a whiskey that kind of punches above its weight class. It just offers an awful lot. So it's one I go to quite a bit, and we'll stay with Wild Turkey. The Russell's Reserve single barrels are always one that I enjoy quite a bit as well. So.
Awesome.
Are we ready for winter chicken dinner?
I think so.
Man.
Jim, you want to start us, or I can start us? I think
I can start us. Yeah. So
okay. What's your?
Let's just do all four, right? We'll start with 4, 3, 2, 1. Sound good? All right.
Yeah, that sounds great. So we'll pick.
So my number 4 is going to be the Copper and Cask. And I'm just going to say it's going to be the Copper and Cask because I would have a hard time finding the right cigar to pair with it. And this is a cigar blend and it's a cigar show. And I'm not sure what I would pair with it. I said a big fat Guy Fieri knuckle sandwich cigar, but who knows?
Yeah.
It's interesting and it got my attention, but I don't know how often I would reach for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next, Scott. And I'm going to agree. I think it's really different. It's got some really interesting notes and flavors once you get past the heat and the burn. But it's my 4th place as well.
Yeah, this was as much as thinking about it. I think like to Jim's point, like would I want to reach for that? I mean, it would be very, very. I would reach for it, I think, to share with people. But yeah, my 4th place, I think, would also be the Copper and Cask as well.
All right. All right, Jim. Number 3?
My number 3 is going to be, and this is tough because the next 3 are all really good whiskeys.
Agreed.
But I think I'm going to go with the Wheel Horse is my number 3. It's a great value. It's a really good whiskey, but the other 2 outshined it just a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. That's my number 3 as well. I think it just got maybe a little bit overproofed. It'd been interesting to see if it was maybe up in that 120s, 115 range, if it could have held its own with those others.
Yeah.
But it's for $45. That's a buy all day in my book, though.
Yeah.
But number 3.
I'm right there with you guys. And like to Todd's point, I think that could be a really, really good whiskey. If you added another, maybe even 10 proof point, higher, maybe 15 tops. I would love to try that at more of that 115, 117 range, somewhere like that. I feel like that could be a whiskey that would really, really shine, to be honest. But yeah, with it being 101, it was kind of getting overshadowed by the other two at this point.
Okay, and we may flip flop on the next two, but maybe not. We'll see. So my number 2 is going to be the barrel.
My number 2 is going to be the barrel. But it is, I will say this for it. It's probably one of my surprises of the year. I really, really enjoy it.
It is an excellent whiskey.
I brought a ringer, though. The ringer, I mean, that's an old batch of Joseph Magnus. It was going to be hard to beat that anyway, but we haven't had Scott in a while, and I wanted to treat him to something special. But that barrel is a great whiskey.
Man, guys, I think we're all on the same page here tonight. This seems a pretty consensus for the most part. On a given night, could you flip flop those two? You could, and I really was enjoying that barrel cigar blend. But yeah, it was pretty close, but still a fantastic whiskey.
All right, so
it actually would be interesting to know. Sorry, Jim. I was going to say it'd be interesting to have it go up against some of the newer batches. Maybe like you said, Scott, I think the newer batches are a little younger MGP barrels and things. So yeah, but I mean, that's hard to run up against some 11 to 18-year-old MGP and hold your own.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think if you had the same kind of proof point on that wheel horse, I think that would have been very, very competitive with that barrel, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think so.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm not going to waste any time trying to get a bottle of that on my bar because I think it's really good. The wheel horse at $45.
I couldn't agree more. Like, really, even with it being 100 proof, like if you wanted to have, or 101 proof, if you wanted to have really nice cocktails, that feels like it'd be for $45. Man, that's a great whiskey to have. I mean, I'd endorse that thing all day long. That's a really, really nice little bottle.
Yep. But winner chicken dinner goes to the Magnus Cigar Blend batch 79.
Yeah,
79. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think Todd knew what he was doing here.
Yeah, he did. You stacked the deck, Todd.
I was gonna say that was more of a treat for you guys to enjoy. So
it's just a good. I mean, if you think of a great cigar blend, like to a lot of people, and you had to identify it, like this kind of feels like what you'd try to explain, I think, to a lot of people if you were going to really enjoy a good one.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the night might have gone different had we actually been smoking cigars. I don't know, but it's really hard to pair 4 cigars with 4 whiskeys in an hour. I don't think we can do it.
No,
but
I'd feel bad burning through all those cigars and having them go out, and then at the end of the night, what am I going to do? Sit out back and smoke 4 cigars? I won't go to bed until like midnight. So,
well, Scott, definitely the next time you're in the area, holler at us. We'll grab a few sticks. We'll find a good place to hang out, and we'll enjoy a few pours with some good smokes.
Absolutely. I'll take you up on that for sure.
All right, Scott, we'd like to give you a chance to sort of let our listeners know exactly where they can find you, what you're doing on a regular basis, a little bit about your picks and your channel and all that, so that they can check you out when the show's over.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. Had a great time. Todd, thanks for the whiskeys. This was a fun little blind right here. So not very often do you get a chance to do the cigar blend stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, as far as channel and everything goes, mostly YouTube, some Instagram stuff. That the Instagram stuff goes both My Bourbon Journey and Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, which Jason from the Mash and Drum and I started that club. 2001 or 2021, and that's going strong. We try to pump out several single barrels throughout the year, so that keeps us busy with all of those. But channel wise, try to drop 1 or 2 videos a week for the most part. Tuesday nights, usually live stream night for me, 8:00 Eastern. And I just try to stay as involved as I can within the the kind of the whiskey community and keeping up with a lot of people. So that part of it is the fun part for me. So I try to be as kind of centered with a lot of the people within the community. So enjoy that the most. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram are probably the two biggest ones. A little bit of some carryover to Facebook stuff, but not too much. But yeah, anybody can reach out to me anytime, watch the videos, do all that stuff. I greatly appreciate all the support.
Well, fantastic. It's been so great to have you on. Let's not wait another 500 episodes to have you on again, I think.
Yeah, that would be great. Man, I don't know if I'm going to make it to another 500 episodes, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly had a great time having some pours with Scott. We hope you'll check out his channel and all the work that he does. He's a great contributor and definitely a treasure for this industry we're in. So make sure you check him out. Also, make sure you check out the Bourbon Road website, thebourbonroad.com. We'd love to have you come in there and become an official roadie. It's real simple. You just go to thebourbonroad.com and click on that sign up button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You get to come in, you get your own ID, you get your own pass to the Bourbon Road Bar. You come in and hang out with Cooper. He's there 24/7. Todd and I get in there from time to time, but we're always having fun in there. It's a great time. That's where our posts are. That's where our events are. That's where Todd posts his giveaways and runs his randomizers. It's a lot of fun. Our vendors love to come in there and give our roadies discounts. So, Jeff, definitely check it out. When you get done here and listen to this episode, go to thebourbonroad.com. Create your free account, come in and hang out with us. It's a great time. Todd and I do this every week, every Wednesday. We have a great show. We have some fun. Sometimes we'll have a guest on like Scott. Sometimes it's just Todd and I going through some samples. I think, Todd, we're caught up now. Are we caught up?
We got a few new ones come in. So
okay, so we're not caught up. We're getting behind again. Okay, well, we're usually reviewing quite a few whiskeys. I think we just surpassed 1,360 whiskeys that we have tasting notes for on the website. It's all searchable, and when you do find a whiskey you're interested in, that tasting note will queue up our podcast to the exact moment in time where Todd and I are talking about it. So you can actually listen to our review while you're reading the tasting notes. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. But until the next time, we will see you down the Bourbon Road.
On the Bourbon Road, where the good times roll, passing bottles like a piece of soul. Every pour's a memory, every sip a spark, lighting up the night in the Kentucky dark. Yeah, we laugh too loud, let the worries go, find a little truth in the afterglow. Ain't no man, just the ties we song on the long winding Bourbon Road. Here's to the nights that turned into dawn, to the friends who stayed when the rest moved on, to the clink of glass and the stories spun, and the quiet peace when the night is done. On a Bourbon Road, we ain't alone. Every mile's marked by the love we've known, from barrel to bottle to the hearts we hold. There's a fire that never gets old, so pour it up, let the moment slow. A little bit of life in every glow. Yeah, forever we'll call this home on the long winding Bourbon Road.